So if you lose this, you can't charge this thing. Hello folks, welcome to Netcruzer Tech. Today I want to talk to you about this Sony Action Cam bundle that I recently picked up. And what's special about this one is it has the LiveView Remote Kit. Now that camera's package back there is actually this camera, which is the Sony HD Ras 300. Now I've owned one of these for 2 years or so, and I use it quite a lot actually. So I thought, wow, my Best Buy finally had an open box version of one with the remote kit. Why don't I pick it up and take a look? So I'm not going to be talking about the camera that much, but I am going to be talking about the LiveView Remote Kit and some of the things that I've learned about it. I've had one of these cameras for a long time, and I intended to make a side-by-side comparison about them because the one that I do have has degraded to the point where I can no longer use the internal microphones, and I've noticed that the focus is starting to get a little bit soft as well. So there's something going on with this camera where, I don't know, long term it has not held up perfectly, but it's still usable. I still make videos with it, and in many cases it produces some better image quality than the new GoPro Hero 7, especially for low light or indoor lighting situations, and I do need to make a follow-up video about that. Currently, this is the way that I use my HDR AS300, either on a head cam mount or mounted any other way that I choose, because the nice thing about the Sony cameras is they have a 1/4-inch tripod jack on the bottom, and they have a microphone input. Even though the internal microphones have degraded on this one, I am able to use it with my external shotgun microphone. On this one, I have tested it. I do have some racing footage that I will show you eventually. All the things about the interface and how the camera works, I have a separate video about that, so go check that out. Primarily, this video is going to be about this little guy here, which is the LiveView Remote Kit. Spoiler alert, it's disappointing. Not as good as I thought it was going to be. There are a couple of things about it that are a little bit annoying right off the bat that I was not aware of. First of all, you look at this and you think, well, how do you charge it? Well, they've added these pins to it, but the only way that you can charge it is by carrying around this little dock that they've made for it. And this dock has a micro USB port on it, and that's the only way that you can get it to charge. So if you lose this, you can't charge this thing. And it clips in there just like that, and then that's how you're supposed to charge it. I'm gonna have to move this because it keeps picking up focus on that. So yeah, this is how it works when you want to charge it, and to power it on, you can just power it on by holding this button, and it will come on. Now, it should try and automatically pair with this device, which we will see if it does. I was having some troubles with that as well. It's trying to connect. And there we go. And now it's LiveView connected. So it does work, but there's one little major downside to it, which is that the range is really, really bad. For something that you're meant to carry around with you and have this be on your wrist, because it does come with a watch mount accessory. It comes with a way so you can wear it as a watch, and it also comes with a little like lanyard style mount clip, and then you get a charge cable for it, and then the charging base that it's currently connected to. So if you want to wear it as a watch, it's pretty ridiculous looking. I did try it, and it's pretty chunky. There, that's a hard connection. And then to get it out, there's a little slider thing. You have to unlock it from back here. You can wear it on your wrist, and that's what it looks like on your wrist. I'm not going to fully do it up. It's a chunky device, but if you want to have this where it's mounted to a bicycle or to your wrist, you can certainly do it. What is the advantage of this over your smartphone? Well, I thought that it was going to be faster and have a bit more functionality, but it's actually turns out that it's almost worse than just using your phone app. You can go into the menu system of the camera, so like you can adjust what mode you're in. You can adjust your video settings, your quality settings, if you have the stabilization on or off, what field of view you're running, digital zoom on or off, the mounting of the camera, whether it be upside down or right side up, and then there's little arrow buttons on this side that I'm scrolling through, and exposure compensation, scene mode, automatic weight balance, your color profile, your microphones on or off, and your wind noise reduction on or off. And the last page is just a go back button. That's the other thing. This is not a touch screen, so they have to program in that. This one is playback mode. It's telling me I don't have an SD card, so that's fine. It's all pictograms, so some of these things you have to really know what they are in order to control them. This one here is more camera control. So this one is you can turn on or off the device with the watch, the beeps, how loud the beeps are, how many lights are on, all the other normal stuff that's in the camera itself. And this one is watch settings, which is how long the display turns on or off for. This one is, I'm not even sure what that is. Mirrored mode, I guess? There are some things that I'm not familiar with, but I didn't get fully into the setup on it because mostly the biggest thing I want to talk to you about is range. Let me just make sure that I actually have the high-powered Wi-Fi on. Now in the camera itself, there is some settings for high-powered. Normally this is off by default. Now I've turned on high-powered Wi-Fi on because that is supposed to increase the range to the watch. But let me just show you here. I'm going to go back. I'm just going to have this sitting here, recording out my door. And we're going to go for a little walk with the watch. Oh, it's already reconnecting. So it's already lost its connection, and now it's trying to repick it back up. Why? Because I went into the menus? Uh-oh. Please stand by. But that probably took a good 10 seconds to reestablish the connection. That's the other thing, is that the connection is a little bit flaky. And so let's go for a little walk now. So I've got this pointed out the door. And we'll just go for a little walk with the watch and we'll see when it drops the connection, because I tried to use this at a race and I tried to be on the driver's stand and I had the camera up on a tripod and elsewhere and it lost the connection. And it was only maybe, you know, a couple of meters away. So I've walked into the back room and we're still connected. The other possibility that I was having connection problems with this is maybe because I was in a race environment where there was probably a dozen 2.4 gigahertz signals being used of all the RC cars. And this could not establish a very secure connection. Made it so it was really useless. I really couldn't even use it. Let's just see how far we can go. I'm gonna actually go outside because it seems like I have full range in my house. All right, so now I'm outside and we're still connected. So I guess it does work as long as you're in a situation where you don't have a lot of interference. I'm now down in the basement and it's still got a good connection. So it's now working great from my house, but it did not work in a real live environment where I had a lot of RC cars on and running. Either way, this device is not quite as good as I'd hoped, because when you do lose connection, it takes a long time to reconnect, or it doesn't reconnect at all. Okay, I'm going to be returning this because I did pay a premium to get this remote device, and to me, the remote device is not as useful as just having it connected to your phone. The one advantage is that you can power on and power off the camera with this, but like I said, if the connection drops, then you're a little bit screwed for that. The reason I was excited about this device is because it does pair to two different devices at the same time, or so they say. It had multi-device, but I couldn't figure out a way to do a quick swap between them. That was also something where, in the field, I wanted to be able to just quickly hit a menu and then swap to another camera. It doesn't work that way that I could figure out. So functionality-wise, it's not that big of an advantage. It's really, industrial design is kind of poor. I don't like it, so disappointing to me, not worth the premium to buy the remote kit. And even though I've had my Sony AS300 degrade over the past 2 years, I still really like this camera. And but this one, I think I'm just going to return this package, and then I'll look to get another one of these, just the camera itself, because that will be a significant savings over paying the premium for this little device. Okay guys, if you enjoyed this or you learned something, hit that like button. If you're new around here, subscribe. If you want to talk to me, leave a comment down below. And as always, thanks for watching. There's one thing that Sony does have an advantage of over the competition, and that's that you don't need to run this silly cage to get something like a tripod jack. I really enjoy that it has the tripod jack on the base of these cameras, as well as these cameras have built-in optical stabilization and sensor stabilization. Real optics versus the fanciest electronic image stabilization on the world right now. Hey guys, I do need to make an update about the Hero 7 because there are some bugs with firmware 1.61 related to indoor filming, and I do need to show the difference between shooting indoors with this and panning shots versus what I've been able to get with this. Yeah, I have a lot of GoPro footage that has recently become unusable, unwatchable, and I want to show you why. Okay guys, thanks for watching.